I'm going to share with you guys probably the most exciting and important news that I've ever shared on my channel, or probably will ever share. And that is that I have the date for when open contact is happening. I can't even believe it. I'm so excited. It is my absolute honor and privilege to inform you guys that open contact will be happening by 2027. And that is just less than it's about to be 2 short years away. And I want to explain how I know this. I'm beyond excited. Let me get myself together. I can't even tell you what this means to me. I can't even tell you what this means to pretty much all of us. The reason why I know this, I'll tell you, is so I have a Pleiadian spirit guide named Raina, who, spirit guide is probably the best term I have for her, but I've been in telepathic communication with a Pleiadian very strongly for about 14 years. My whole life she's been talking to me. And I have been talking to her lately about what's going on and that sort of thing. And I remember I had a conversation with her almost 2 years ago where I said, when am I going to be able to see, turn on my TV and see a Pleiadian person standing flesh and blood on that stage, shaking hands with, the president? When am I going to see that kind of contact? This was almost 2 years ago. She said 7 years from now, at the latest. And I was like, okay. Then, between now and then, she told me it had been moved up a little bit. Okay, right? And so I was like, okay, it was 7 years. What is it going to be, 6? And then after this most recent election, she said the timetable's moved up a ton. And so as of 2025, it would have been 5 years if it was that 7 she originally told me, but she's like, that timetable's moved up a ton. So from 5 years, now it's moved to 7. But she wouldn't tell me exactly when. She was hinting. She was like, okay, it's moved up a lot. And I was like, okay. I had a bunch of people on a video recently asking me, okay, when is it? So I explained this to anybody who asked about what she said about the 7 years, but it's been moved up, so less than 5 for sure. So, but I kept asking her, and she's like, I just can't tell you right now, because if it's not being released, it can't be released. But I'm a sly Akashic Records reader and a professional psychic, so I was looking at the Akashic Records myself, trying to figure this out. And I swear to you, on my life, I thought 2027, and because I could see it in the records. I'm like, it must be 2027. That must be it. This is where the energy shifts so much. Believe me, I think it's 2027. So I go to Raina with my prediction, and I'm like, I think it's 2027. And Raina's very amused that that's my conclusion, and she cannot officially give me a yes or no, but I can tell by her reaction and how amused she is. I was like, I think I'm right, and I think she can't tell me. But I was like, but usually when she can't tell me something, she'll give me signs to help. When she can't say it, there's rules and regulations, but she'll help me figure it out. So she'll give me signs. So it was literally this week that we had this conversation, and I was like, I know it's 2027. I know it. And she didn't, she can't say no or yes, but she hinted to me that I'm correct. Anyways, tonight I was talking to her about the drone activity and stuff in New Jersey to make my other video. And then afterwards, she kind of inspired me to I should look up YouTube. And then she inspired me, and there's a video with Michael Sala and Elena Denon, and I don't really watch their stuff too much these days. But I watched it, and Elena Denon, at the very end of it, announced to society, announced to the world that disclosure's coming in 2027. I believe Elena Denon, 100%. She is a contact like I do, named Thorhan from the planet Era in the Pleiades, which is exactly where Raina is from. She's from planet Era. And so all of her information that she's had come in that I've confirmed with Raina, I've even said stuff in videos that she came out in her 3rd book and said, and I had said it, that Raina had told me about their society a year earlier. I even sent it to my students, our information, because we're talking to the same kinds of people from the same planet, from the same society, it's always really lined up. I trust her 100%, honestly. She's kind of an interesting lady, but her books are great. Anyway, she confirmed it's 2027. And I went to Raina, and I was like, I knew it. And she's like, I can tell you now. That video was posted yesterday. So Raina couldn't tell me before yesterday because it had to be announced by Elena because she's Earth's emissary. But I knew it. It's 2027, you guys. And I can't tell you what this means to everybody. The next 2 years are going to be very different. Our whole lives are going to change. Technology's going to come out. Healing technology's coming out. Our whole society is shifting in the next 2 years rapidly, and it's going to be a little crazy for a little while, but it's going to level out by 2027, and things are going to be really, really good. Really good. We've won. We're heading towards a more positive future. And we're going to be invited to join the Galactic Federation of Worlds. And I know that because Raina is from the future, and she tells me that we ended up joining the Galactic Federation of Worlds. So she knows that's what we're heading towards. And with that comes sharing of their technology. In our lifetimes, we're going to be able to colonize Mars with their help, obviously, not with our current technology. Elon, you give it your best shot, though, but he tried. But in my lifetime, she's assured me that we're going to have colonies elsewhere, and we're going to be invited to go to colonies elsewhere for whoever wants to volunteer. Just because Earth has too many people on it, and how they live on planet Era is they typically, they have a certain amount of people to coexist with the planet and not overwhelm the planet's resources and like work with her. And then it's not like this crazy, like they kick you off. It's not like that. It's just like, oh, there's too many people on the planet currently. Does anyone want to go anywhere else? And people just happily volunteer. So we're heading towards such a beautiful society. If our society becomes anything like Raina's society and Era, you guys it's literally, we're going to be free. Era has no money system. Everyone's just allowed to focus on what they want to focus on. Everybody's clean water and clean air and clean food. Our environment's going to be cleaned up immediately. We're going to have a lot of people move off the surface. We're going to have floating cities where people are going to live to let the Earth kind of heal, because she needs to calibrate. Also, Raina also tells me that our Earth does not have enough oxygen that's ideal for humans. So even that can cause anxiety and depression just because our oxygen level isn't high enough. It's enough for us to live, but it's not ideal. So we're going to have to plant way more plants and kind of let the surface chill a little bit, and let people volunteer to like be on the Mars colony, be on the Moon colony, be in the sky ships for a little bit, and not everybody, and nobody has to do it, but it's just to let the equilibrium of the Earth kind of balance out. And so our environmental problems are going to be solved. They're going to help us we're going to have technology to clean the air. We're going to have technology to fix everything. You guys, I don't think you understand how we were heading towards a very terrible future, and we have totally fixed it. And now we're finally at that last step of disclosure, of being in open contact. And let me just tell you guys, as someone who's been trying to logically explain to people that I have an alien friend that I talk to that tells me stuff, and I am a psychic medium, obviously, I'm sure that's weird enough, but to put the alien friend on top of it, it's a lot for people. And to be like, when I can turn on that TV and be like, I literally told you, see, they're real. I can't wait for that day, you guys. I honestly can't. But anyway, if you've stayed with me for this long, I'm so happy for all of us in this. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me if you're excited. And I love you guys. So